Hello future doctor, I Dr. Saida Sara welcome you here in Anatomy Student Zone. Before I start creating content in neuroanatomy, it's important to guide you how to study spinal cord for exams. I will say it's not just for exam, in fact it's mandatory for a medical student to have a background knowledge so that you can make a diagnosis on the basis of symptom, and you should also be able to know why the patient is having these symptoms. Today I will tell you a story of 23-year-old student. In this story, this is written in your neuroanatomy book. I know you will be studying neuro and I am 100% sure majority of students have not gone through this case. So the purpose of this story is to tell you the importance of neuroanatomy and to guide you how to follow pattern. So imagine if your recommended book is starting neuro with this case, it means this will provide you a path for a future study. By this, you will also come to know how to assess such patient, how to reach till diagnosis if you are there as a medical doctor. So we will see all these points in this case. We will see there will be lot of finding in this case, but the purpose is to relate these findings and to find the anatomical basis. So what happens in this case? A 23-year-old student was driving home from a party. On his way to home, he crashed his car head into a tree. He was brought to a local hospital. On examination in an emergency department, doctor found he had a fracture dislocation of 7 thoracic vertebra. There were also signs and symptoms of severe damage to spinal cord as well. Doctors, I have shared the MRI showing these findings, but the doctor diagnoses were not on MRI. He was doing examination. On basis of examination, he find out that there is a 7 thoracic vertebra dislocation, and there are also signs and symptoms of spinal cord damage. They also find later on that there was paralysis of the left leg of patient as well. It means the patient was unable to make voluntary movements, or he was unable to make his left leg move. Now question is how doctor came to know there is fracture dislocation of 7 thoracic vertebra, and what are the signs and symptoms that show that there is damage to spinal cord. Although still doctor have not sent any investigation like we have seen MRI in a previous image. As I told you earlier, in this case we will see there will be a lot of neurological findings on neurological examination, and doctor reached till diagnosis by performing neurological examination. So what type of examination the doctor have to be performed, we will look into this. For you take-home messages in such injuries, it's very important to test for sensory and motor testing. And you have to do this testing both on the right and the left side. You also have to compare, is there any difference of perception of these sensation in a right or a left side or not. So examination both on the right and the left side, and the testing is mandatory in these cases. When further cutaneous sensibility was tested in this patient on examination, doctor observed some finding. So to understand that finding, what you have to do is you have to note that findings first on a right side and then on another side. So I will tell you first what are the findings on a left side. In this case, later on I will tell you what are the findings on right side. So this is left side of body, this is right side. Left-sided findings that the doctor observed, these were, there was an area or a band of skin with cutaneous hyperesthesia on the left side, and this band was extending around the abdominal wall at the level of umbilicus. So level of umbilicus is very important over here. At the level of umbilicus, this area was over there, that is shown as blue in this image. So cutaneous hyperesthesia means the sensitivity was increased in that area when that was tested. So another finding on a left side on a sensory testing was that just below that area that I have mentioned before, that was an area of umbilicus, there was a small band or an area where the patient was unable to feel pain, he was unable to feel movement, mean there was an area of anesthesia and analgesia, that is shown as red in this image. And also the patient was having paralysis of a left leg that we have mentioned before as well. Still, if you are unable to understand, please pause this video and replay it again so that you are able to understand. Dear doctors, now I will tell you the findings on the right side of a patient. In this case, on right side, he had total analgesia, thermoanalgesia, and the partial loss of sensation of touch. below the level of umbilicus that was involving the whole of right leg. So in simple word, I'm describing above statement that I have told you. Patient was unable to feel pain and temperature sensation below the level of umbilicus, but the touch sensation, these were partially intact. So the findings were below the umbilicus, and these were also involving the right leg of a patient as well. So point I have focused is below umbilicus and involving the right leg of a patient and an absence of a pain and temperature sensation in that area. So if I summarize these findings of a left and a right side, I will say an area of band with cutaneous hyperesthesia or an increased sensitivity on the left side, and it was extending at the level of umbilicus and around the abdominal wall as well. Remember, I am describing these findings in a neurological term. So there was an area or a band with anesthesia and analgesia that was below the level of umbilicus or below the above mentioned area. There was also a paralysis of a left leg of patient. So on right side, the findings were total loss of pain and temperature sensation that we name as analgesia and thermoanalgesia. And there was a partial loss of sensation of a touch below the level of umbilicus, and these were involving the whole right leg. So most important is here, your knowledge of anatomy is very important to reach till diagnosis. In this scenario, of course, the physician knowledge of anatomy was too good that he knows that these findings represent damage to spinal cord. So how spinal cord was damaged? Because the fracture dislocation of 7 thoracic vertebrae occurred in this fracture, and it resulted in severe damage to 10th thoracic segment of spinal cord. So with his knowledge of anatomy, he also knows that vertebral foramina in thoracic region is having small size. And because of this small size of vertebral foramina, these injuries results in damage to spinal cord. So there was a severe damage of spinal cord in this case due to damage to small size of vertebral foramina. So that's why in a start of scenario, doctor identified the vertebral level on the basis of sensory modalities testing. That's why for you, it's very important to have a knowledge of a vertebral level of various segments of spinal cord. What is gray matter of spinal cord? What is white matter of spinal cord? Which sensory and the motor tracts are present in white matter? And if they are damaged, what will be the sign and symptom in that patient? If you have this knowledge, you will be able to determine the neurological deficit. I already told you in such cases, sensory and the motor testing is very, very important. So if there are unequal sensory and the motor loss on a two side of body, as that was a case in this scenario as well, it indicates a hemisection of a spinal cord. And we also call this situation as a Brown-Sequard syndrome. So Brown-Sequard syndrome can be caused by the number of spinal cord injuries. That can be due to spinal cord tumors. That can be due to trauma, like that was a case in this scenario. So it can be due to ischemia, that is obstruction of our blood vessels. It can be due to infection or inflammatory diseases such as a tuberculosis that is involving your spinal cord. So being a doctor, you should know that MRI is an imaging of joints in spinal cord lesions, and it helps us to determine the level of lesion. Now I will say why MRI is a choice in these cases. It's because it's absolutely safe for a patient. MRI is the best imaging method for detecting the low contrast lesions such as a brain tumor, multiple sclerosis or a plaques. It's also capable of showing clear images of a brainstem, cerebellum, pituitary fossa and a spinal cord. While in CT scan, if we are going to see, these images are overshadowed by the dense bodies of the bones or a base of the skull. So most important here in the spinal cord is that the spinal cord is much more clearly visualized with the MRI, and it provides better differentiation between the gray matter and a white matter of spinal cord. But unfortunately, one drawback of MRI is MRI takes longer and it costs 2/3 more than that of CT, but it's preferable in case of spinal cord lesions to differentiate between gray matter and white matter. After you have done with investigations, what you have to do, you have to identify in a hemisection which tracts are involved, which tracts are crossing over there, which modalities of sensation these tracts are carrying, and which modalities of sensation will be absent while you are going to do a neurological examination or a sensory or a motor testing. So in this scenario, there was a left hemisection of spinal cord, and why the patient was unable to feel pain and a temperature on the opposite side, that was on the right side of the body, that was due to involvement of some tracts that we will see later on, which tracts are present in the white matter of spinal cord and why these tracts were involved in this case. So to comprehend what has happened to this patient, the knowledge of relationship between spinal cord surrounding vertebral column, you should understood this. So it's important again. So we will see all this in upcoming series when I will discuss the spinal cord anatomy, its gray matter, white matter. I will try to relate it clinically. I will try to make it simpler for you. Till then, do remember this scenario. It should be on your fingertip. Keep activating your neuron, make maximum number of synapses, and don't worry, I, Dr. Saida Sara, is here to help you out. But please activate my neuron also by hitting on a bell icon, by subscribing, liking, and giving comment to this channel. Thanks for watching. Till then, goodbye from my side.